To our horror, we found out that our 7th grade teacher at the Crossroads School was going to be none other than the notorious Mrs. Hale from 4th grade. 4th grade was a picnic compared to 7th grade. She had very little control over the class. One thing that we caught her doing was rummaging through our desks after we went home. We knew because, being the neat freak that I was and still am, when I left school for the day, I had 2 piles of books in my desk, neatly stacked, and my pencils and rulers and whatever else in the front in that little tray that was there. And we'd come in the next morning and everything would be in disarray. Well, my friend and classmate, Barbara Agavino, went home and told this to her mother. Her mother was already fed up with all of the complaints about Mrs. Hale, so her solution to the problem was to send Barbara to school with a mousetrap, which she readily set in her desk with the idea that Mrs. Hale would stick her hand in there and start rummaging through, and of course the mousetrap would snap on her fingers. I don't know if that ever happened or not, but the rummaging through our desks did eventually stop. In an effort to improve our behavior, at least for the girls, I don't know what she did for the boys, but she would make us stay in from recess to have heart-to-heart talks with us, at which time she would talk to us about our behavior and quote scripture to us. Well, having been in church all my life, I didn't mind the scripture, but I certainly did not want to sit on her lap, as she said we had to do, to have these heart-to-heart talks. That was just too creepy, and I stood there and in all my boldness and refused to do it. From then on, she called me antagonistic, defiant, and some other word that I can't remember. We were so bad because she had no control over us, and I guess 7th graders are notorious for being out of control anyway, but with a teacher who did not know how to discipline or run a classroom, we were especially out of control. She refused to take us on a field trip. Our parents organized one for us, however. We went to the Naval Base in Annapolis, Maryland, and had quite a good time. The only other thing that was positive, and this is more of a family thing, was that my great-grandmother, Mary Carll, lived down the road a ways in what is now the Niblock property, the house with the eagle. She lived there on the farm, and I would oftentimes on a Friday afternoon walk to her house to spend the night so that I could help her out on Saturdays with whatever she might want me to do, which often included helping her clean the 7th grade schoolhouse because she was the janitor.